Hello, Joyful Scholars Montessori School. It's Preston. I love and miss you all so much. I'm wishing you greetings from Chiapas State, Mexico, where I am.
Buenos dias, amigos. Tengo un video para ti. Good day, brothers and sisters. I have a video for you to update you on my spiritual, physical, and mental journey. Soy aquí en México para mi vida espiritual. I am in Mexico for my spiritual life primarily, as many of you know. As I am making this video, it's mid-March 2016. Exactly 1 year ago at this time, I was in Wenatchee, Washington, and I was experiencing the most profound shift in my understanding of the world. First, a little background. In September 2014, I moved to Wenatchee to work as a youth intern at Columbia Grove Covenant Church. In the church, I was helping lead Bible studies at youth groups and learning how to reach young people with the Christian message. I even got to teach confirmation class a couple times. It was great. I worked about 15 hours a week at the church, 15 hours a week at a YMCA swimming pool, and also volunteered every Tuesday at Joyful Scholars Montessori School. My whole life revolved around Jesus Christ, as it had for the last 7 years, and I loved nearly every minute of it.
And I thank God for the lighthouse, my life to Him. King Jesus is the lighthouse, and from the rocks of sin.
While comparing the biblical worldview I was teaching in the church to the worldview taught in Joyful Scholars Montessori School, I realized that the message of mutual respect and honor for all people and religions was a message I believed in with more strength than the biblical Christian message. This is not to say that the Christian message teaches disrespect. In fact, the church teaches love of all people. For me, though, I could not continue teaching and believing in the message of the Bible. So, here in Chiapas, Mexico, the southernmost state of Mexico bordering Guatemala, a lot of my time is spent asking great questions of the gods. I've been praying to and thinking about a handful of different gods as I attempt to discern what is truth. The greatest focus in my search continues to be Jesus Christ Yeshua, because in my 7 years as a devoted disciple of Him, I saw so many signs and miracles that confirmed Him. So I continue singing the praises of Jesus.
Let all things there Creator bless and worship Him in righteousness.
I also sing Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. That's a Sikh mantra, which means I bow to the subtle divine wisdom within myself. I worshipped in a charismatic Pentecostal Catholic church for the first time. By the way, I didn't think any Catholic people danced as they praised God. Turns out I was very wrong. As I put this video together, I'm camping just 3 kilometers away from the ancient Mayan city of Palenque. This beatific setting is a great place to relax, though frequently you hear the roars of monkeys piercing the air. Maya society consisted of many different city-states, and Palenque was one of the greatest. Palenque was enormous for its time, founded about 100 BCE. It flourished for roughly 900 years, and then was mysteriously abandoned in 800 ACE. It was ruled by Mayan kings who were themselves gods. They believed that their deceased rulers would eventually return from the underworld, emerging with the fruit trees. How beautiful. The Maya studied sophisticated astronomy and geometry. Maya culture revolved around an elaborate religion of ritual and human sacrifice. The Maya believed that lifeblood was a gift from the gods, and those gods demanded a constant stream of blood in return. They thought that unless they regularly offered human sacrifices to the gods, the world would literally come to an end. Palenque had grand temples, plazas, sports arenas, and even a great tower from which to study astronomy. King Pakal II, his name literally means sun shield, was a great visionary and architect. He ruled Palenque from about 615 ACE to 685 ACE, nearly 70 years. He was made king when he was only 12 years old, and he changed the fortunes of the town forever. One of the crowning jewels of the ruins today is his own tomb, the Temple of Inscriptions. It contains the largest Mayan glyphic text found to date. Deep down inside this temple is the burial chamber of Pakal himself. The sarcophagus lid, the top of his coffin, contains a jaw-dropping piece of Mayan art, which depicts Pakal near the open jaws of a funerary serpent, which may signal his entrance into the realm of the dead. This piece of art is world famous today. As I have been spending a lot of time meditating and praying in the sites of these ancient temples and tombs, I have increasingly become aware of the indigenous struggle. In many parts of the world, it is essentially the same struggle. For the American continents, the European, the white man, came to the New World bringing guns, germs, and steel, and a genocide was carried out. The majority of the indigenous population was killed. In the USA, I was not taught this in school. I thought that the first Europeans in North America were the Pilgrims, and they coexisted peacefully, sharing Thanksgiving meals with the indigenous. I don't remember being taught that some European settlers purposefully shared blankets diseased with smallpox with the indigenous people, knowing that the disease would kill many. I don't ever remember being taught in school that many of the treaties the United States government made with Native Americans were broken, and to this day remain unkept. Of course, there were plenty European settlers who did not wish for the indigenous people to lose their land or their lives, but they seem to have been the minority. According to an NGO called United to End Genocide, there were more than 10 million Native Americans living in what is now the USA when Europeans arrived in the 1400s, and by 1900, there were less than 300,000. This means that over the course of roughly 500 years, the indigenous population was all but erased completely. Some historians call it genocide, others have other names for it. I think genocide is the most fitting title, sadly. But rather than wallowing in the tragedy of that, I take it as a call to action. We all have a role to play in making the world a place that truly provides liberty and justice for all. In January and February, I lived in Chiapas de Corzo, a town of about 50,000 people. In January, the city celebrates a great festival. It celebrates a number of different things, from the patron saint of San Sebastian to the pre-Catholic legend of the Perechicos. Because it is a legend, there are a number of opposing stories. I will share a very general version of the legend, combining multiple sources. Long ago, a Spanish woman came to Chiapas to seek a cure for her son's unknown illness. Chiapas area was in a famine at the time, and the woman said that if her son was healed, she would provide food for everyone in the area. A local curandero, a shaman, saw the boy and said his illness was sadness, and sent the boy to bathe in a local hot spring. He was miraculously cured, and in celebration, his mom threw the mother of all parties. Food was distributed to everyone. Today in the festival, men dress up as women supposedly because food was only distributed to the women, and of course men wanted the food as well. My friends and I had a grand time taking part in these festivities. Practically everyone in town joins in, dressing up in the traditional garb. These are the Perechicos. According to the legend, they are called that because when asked why